Welcome to the 4SS Victoria podcast. We're at Daley Kart Supplies in Cranbourne West doing our first episode. Nathan Daley's with me today. We'll keep it pretty fluid and just talk all things 4SS, especially in Victoria. So welcome, Nathan.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to the shed. So this is where the magic happens at DKS during the week when I'm not at track. So, yeah.
What I've just noticed is Nathan likes to have two of everything. So what I'm looking at here is we've got two Karcher pressure washers, two whippersnippers, two go-karts, two spare engines, two cans of Motul, two mowers,
Mate,
two
you got to
mountain
have a
bikes,
backup. It's like going to the track. You're not going to go to the track without spares.
two complete X6s.
Yeah, but one's an Oakley cart because we all know what happens at Oakley.
One's got an orange plate, one's got a fluoro plate. Maybe a silver this year.
Or hoping for that silver. Been trying the last couple of years, but it hasn't really worked out. Had that big prang in, what was that, 23 at Pucker. So
Yeah, I don't remember.
yeah, you end up getting cowboyed out of the seat there, but become a part of that accident as well, unfortunately.
I think I handled it a little bit better than you did that day.
Oh man, I was pretty pissed off, but what can you do?
Shout out to Mark Walker.
Yeah, boys up in Queensland. Yeah, not much you could really do. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. Already backed it off through the corner, but wasn't enough.
Yeah, so just want to talk about a few things, what we would call newsworthy to us. One of the things to come out around two of the trail at Oakley was what I would call red filter gate.
Yeah, I heard about this one.
So Heat 2, Tom
in the
Andersley.
mediums, wasn't it?
Yeah, two guys got picked up to go through to the stewards or scrutineering. And what had happened was Oakley has really tough scrutineering, like they, are by the book. So you have to be on the ball. But so Tom didn't run a red sock on his air filter.
Didn't run it, or did it just come off?
Nah, didn't run it. It had torn from wear and tear. Didn't have any spares. Didn't think it was an issue.
Oh, DKS would have hooked him up.
Yeah. How much are they worth, the DKS?
Do him a deal, probably.
Do them a deal?
Yeah, $15.
Yeah, so $15 for a red sock. Come see Nathan. So they didn't run it and then got picked up for not running it. And so the reasoning was because it's actually a big word to say, homologated.
Part of the homologation.
There you go, it's a big word.
It's a bit rough, that one.
Yeah, so, that they say you need to run it as part of the air filter product. So Oakley enforced it and DNF Tom for Heat 2.
That's a bit rough, though.
Rough.
I've seen them fly off during races and...
Yeah, because there was one on the track, I believe, one of the heats, and I thought it might have been that because of that. But
to get DQ'd on a club day, that's...
DQ, not DNF'd. It's a bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh. Like, as we know, like, club days are here for everyone to get their feelers and learn from your mistakes. Like, I'm sure if he got pulled up and said, look, mate, you're not meant to have no sock on your filter, but I'd see it doing more damage to your own cart than anything.
Yeah, it's more of a protective thing than a performance thing.
But I'm sure if they pulled him up and said, look, man,
it's like the condom.
You probably meant to,
It's not there for performance, it's there for protection. So,
if they said sort of, look, mate, you need to run it, it's in the homologation paperwork, but even then, I don't know if it specifically says it needs to be on there. It's photographed there, so...
Well, what happened over in South Australia at Ultimate Club Racer? Wasn't there an issue with... Was it for you?
That was me. Yeah, I almost got dicked over there. But, so, back in the day, I used to run a zip tie on my red sock on the filter. But after every race, I'm taking the red sock off, cleaning it with some Modeltech foam cleaner. Then I always respray them with...
Does DPE give you 3 cans of that?
Oh, nah, not yet, but should work out a deal for that one, eh? Bit of a plug. I've always foam sprayed my air filter since I've started 3 years ago. And so, taking it on, taking it off, and to be honest, I just got sick of putting the zip tie back on.
Yep.
So the oil normally being wet sort of molds it a bit better and holds on. I've never had one come off personally because they've always been oiled. But yeah, I think I finished second or third one of the heats, and I think they were in there checking axle thicknesses. Checked my axle thickness, and yeah, I was about to wheel out, and a competitor from sort of another class, no names, which, yeah, anyway, long story there. Wasn't even in the heavy class. They've gone up and pulled a scrutineer aside and a bit of whispering and this and that, and next minute I get pulled back in, and yeah, they're like, oh, your air filter's not tethered. I'm like, oh, mate, okay, I've never really been pulled up on this before. I've done 2 ultimates before that, and yeah, tried to get a bit more information out of him without coming across as too much of a smart ass. But like, if you're gonna say it needs a tether, I asked him where it's said in the rule book, and he told me just go read the rule book. But in the Torini homologation paperwork, there's nothing around saying it needs a zip tie, or in the photos there's no zip tie on it. And then I tried to ask, what can I just put a bit of tie wire around it? Does it need to be a 6mm zip tie? Does it need to be a 2 zip ties? Like, if you're gonna enforce it, you need to know what you're enforcing, and there needs to be a standard around that. So is there a minimum requirement for the tether then? And they couldn't answer it either.
Yeah,
so
they're just looking at the paperwork that you get with the engine and just trying to figure out, hang on, this red thing goes on there, that belongs on the engine then, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you want to enforce the rules, you've got to know what you're sort of talking about. Otherwise, just give them a warning. Yeah,
so I spoke to Adam Burke before the final just to clarify that, you know, I thought we were here to, you know, learn. You know, that's what was mentioned in the driver's briefing in the morning. You know, that's a bit of a learning curve, I think. I don't think it's, you know, coming underweight or, you know. So anyway,
throwing rib protectors
he went and had a chat. But
around.
yeah, they, shout out to Shane Wheat. Yeah, so they said that the big conference up in the Gold Coast that was brought up in some rules and stuff for Torini or 4SS. So that's what they based it off, and it is what it is.
Yeah, but again, club day.
Yeah, club day, 4SS. We're just entry level.
Yeah,
that we like to be
as we keep getting
reminded of. Yeah. So how about leaving us alone a little bit, and we'll probably self-monetize ourselves, to be honest.
Yeah, but most of the boys around the track, like if they see something wrong on your cart, they're like, look, man, you should. Another one probably that doesn't really get mentioned is the exhaust tether. Yes, on a Torini you have to run a cable exhaust tether. So not something I really knew about early on, but I think we got pulled up first Ultimate Club race over in Monado. So ever since then we've been running exhaust tethers, but I don't really know if it has that in the Torini homologation. I know on 2-strokes it does, but yeah.
Anyway, enough about the technical side of it.
Yeah, I think probably more of that sorry to hold you back, but more of that technical side comes from the outcome of that meeting, because there was a fair bit of Torini tinkering going on, I think, in the Sunshine State, and they've learnt a fair bit.
Sunshine State people, can you?
Nah, they're right. Some of them, only the ones up north.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Nah, I think that was more around that, because there's been a lot of issues with people up there modifying stuff they shouldn't modify, and it's good now that actually finally a bit of it's coming to light, and they're starting to crack down on it, because as we keep getting reminded, entry level class, and we're trying to keep it fair for everyone. So it's really the driver's class.
Yep. And there's another tag on the motor, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, so they've realised there's an issue there. So what else? So orange plate for Victoria is still.
I'd be right if it doesn't run. I'd be happy to keep my plate for another.
Does it work like that?
Months. Yeah, pretty much. You keep it till the next one runs, don't you?
Yeah, might as well. Yes, orange plate's still up in the air. Hasn't been brought to. Well, it has been thrown around by KV, but nothing's cemented. I think they probably.
KV like to sit on their hands when it comes to
I don't know.
Bit, unfortunately,
country clubs aren't willing to put their hand up for it just because of the.
It's a big outlay. And
Yep.
like if
We can't be the headliner.
yeah, it'd be alright if we tack on to someone else's meet, like say a Northwest title or
Yeah.
I don't know, like that's just one as an example. But like poor Swan Hill last year, or it got canned the year before, but
And Pucker took it, which was good. Ultimate club racer.
yeah, good and bad. You ended up double whammy. So if you had a shit round
Yeah.
for Ultimate, you had a shit round for the Orange Plate.
Yeah, so I threw it to Adam Burke, and yeah, he's going to try and chase it up and try and have it at Oakley at one of their open meetings coming up. But I'm not confident.
Yeah.
It has
I
to
don't know.
be. It has to be an open meeting. It can't be on a club day.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't know.
Because Anthony Taylor said to me that there was talk with when he spoke to KV about it being on one of the rounds of the trail, but we run our trail on club day, so I don't think it can happen.
Unless they change one of those meetings to an open meet.
Yeah, they should just make an exception for 4SS and
Like it's one race a year. Like
yeah,
it's not.
we
It's
don't-
not the end of the world. Like just give us our race.
yeah,
all we're
exactly.
asking.
That's all we're asking. It's just one event. It's a bit like Todd Road. We're just asking for one event. If Todd Road Committee do hear this podcast, which would be great, we just want to come there once this year. Probably leave you alone. Yeah, everyone's
Just a
keen.
one-off event,
yeah,
really. Like we got 40 blokes wanting to have a chop
Yeah.
around Todd Road.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the only track in Victoria that we haven't done or can't really do.
Yeah, I've done all the right things. I've emailed them multiple times, had a phone conversation with one of the secretary. Wasn't really favourable, but he's going to get back to me. He never got back to me. Anthony Taylor's followed it up. He's trying his hardest behind the scenes through his
Got a man on the ground.
KV involvement, but it's silly. It's really silly. It's
We
unnecessary.
all pay the same fees.
Yeah, and it's just for club day. It's just club level stuff. So
Like what would entry be there? What, $60?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah. You get 40 people. What's that?
Yeah.
Maybe $2,400.
Oh, it's very profitable, very profitable. But we're just lawnmowers, I guess. So
There's plenty of grass to cut around Todd Road, I suppose.
yeah, no, the Two Strokes do a good job of it every time they have a big national meeting there. So see more of them in the sand. Watching them on 7 mate or
7 plus.
7 plus. Yep. So yeah, it'd be good to get there. But I think we're running out of time for this year. But we'll work our magic and keep hassling them until they.
But again, it's just another club day. Like
Yep.
they just got to add it to comp, and
Yep.
you'll have at least 40,
Like I said.
44 SSs on board, if not more, because there's a lot of people that
Travel
would
for it.
come out of the woodworks.
Probably South Australians come over.
Yeah.
Stay in a hotel, flash hotel.
Get old Timmy over from T4.
Tim, and then the rest. James, Daniel Bowden. All
Yeah.
missing in action at the moment.
Yeah, MIA. I don't think Bowden's got a card at the moment.
Did you guys upset them by just taking it to them?
I don't know, man. It was a wicked battle between us and the heavies. Like, you'd rock up, and there's 3 Vic boys and 3 SA boys, and the top 5 was flip of a coin.
Yep.
So we're all doing the same pace. It just sort of come down to a bit of track position. It was always good because they always used to trip over each other as well. Like, they'd always love a battle where we'd try and play it a bit smarter, and I'd either push Jake along, Jake would push me along, or Big Dog would get in there, and we'd all...
Does Jake push you along though?
Oh,
Is it the Birrell boys versus?
it depends. If there's another Birrell boy in sight, probably not. Probably the less favourable one at that
Did he
time.
help you?
but
Did he help you at Swan Hill?
he's on the other side of the road. So Andy
Yeah.
Bowie gave me the good push in the final there.
See, DPA boys.
Yeah,
You
the
got a team.
Arrow boys sticking
You
together.
got to start pitting with them. You're both, Arrow boys. You should start, working together. He's getting quicker with his X7.
Yeah, he's really lifted his game this year. He's pretty much on pace now. So it's making nearly four Victorians, and there's only 3 steps on the podium. So
Yep.
unfortunately,
Yep.
someone has to miss out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Andy missed the first one. Big Dog missed out on round 2.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll start talking about the 2 rounds we've had of the Victoria Country 4SS Trail. So round 1 was Pucker. It was one of those weekends where
I just wish it had rained or not rained.
Yeah, so I looked the forecast. It was stuff all percentage wise, but unfortunately the weather turned and headed north through that area. And it was a shower after sunlight shower on Saturday and Sunday. So
one of those days, it's a pain in the ass if you're working on the cart by yourself. No one's helping you change tyres. No one's helping you throw a snorkel on.
Yeah. So from your performance from round one, how did you go? And what were some of your feedback from the round?
So
you put it on pole, didn't you?
Put it on pole. I don't know how I done that.
Was it in the wet?
Yeah, it was in the wet for.
Oh, that's right. I was watching the timing, and you got it on the last lap.
Yeah, so it must have been just a bit of track evolution and right place, right time. But
more foot into it.
Yeah, Big Dog's very hard to beat in those greasy conditions. That's like his bread and butter.
Yep.
And so I just snagged pole by a 10th, and we actually done standing starts there. So
so which is good at Pucker. They put it to us because we had 41 entrants. I think only 40 turned up. But so they suggest.
No, I think one of them had to pull out because of an engine.
Yeah,
it was a club engine they borrowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
around the camshaft.
Yep. So 40 entrants.
So initially it went over track capacity, so they split us.
Yep. So then they threw to us about a standing start to change it up and make it.
Not a lot of tracks you can do standing start either.
Make it more unique, which we were like, for sure, even if it's wet. So we'll just do it, something different,
I liked it. I rate the standing start.
Yeah, it was. Look, it was a bit like it's not as exciting going into turn one flat out, or but it was something different. It was like old high car days when we used to do it there too, and
see whose clutch can bite a bit better.
Just hopping in the seat, trying to get some traction down and get going. So it made for a cleaner start, I think.
Yeah, especially with such a big field and a lot of new faces there. So
yeah, definitely
wouldn't be as daunting punching into turn one at what do we do down there, about 90?
Yeah, we'll send a roll over there.
Yeah, one of the Queensland boys ended up tripping over another Queensland boy and ended on
into turn one at Pucker, which is totally unusual.
Especially in a four stroke.
Yeah, I know. So standing start, that was good. So for heavies, how'd you go heat 1, 2 and 3? And because they do an overall points, they don't do a final. So
so Pucker's one of those soft spot tracks for me. It's probably up there with my favourite between that and Monado. It was pretty good. So Pucker, pretty good for me. Always a happy hunting ground going there. Put it on pole. Don't know how. I think you said I done it in the last last lap, and then heat 1. It was greasy, but it was slicks because we were watching you boys run around in the mediums. Right. You were before us, and there's a bit of an alternate strategy there. Some were running slicks, some were running wets, and you could see the boys that chose the slicks really started coming through. At the end there, and didn't really want to chew up $300.
Jake didn't trip over Big Dog in heat 1? Was it heat 2?
Nah, that was heat
2, 3. Real wet.
Yeah, it started raining.
Maybe.
And I think we were on the grid. So we were as it normally happens.
That's
4SS
right.
is sitting on the grid and it starts raining. So we were all on slicks. And in those conditions, Big Dog, slicks, water, oh man, he is fast. So shout out to Jake. Thanks for fixing him up at turn 1 and give me a chance for that race.
I think you would have won by at least.
Oh, he would have smoked me.
Because we were just watching him come through the field and he was just every lap 3-4 people bang bang, and he was just climbing in behind you, and then I think he was 3/10 behind you over the line.
Yeah, so got the results here for heat 3. He was what was he? He was 8/10 behind me, but his fastest lap time was 2 seconds faster than my fastest lap time.
Yeah.
So, and he's pretty consistent there. He was doing minute 12, minute 12.8, minute 12.8, minute 11, minute 10.
Yeah.
Where I was probably
he was on the limit. You could see him come through the bus stop, and he was really pushing it.
Yeah, where I was all over the show. I was minute 15, minute 12,
front,
minute 14. Oh, a bit of a pioneer too, trying to find the
someone
grip.
To follow.
But yeah, so lucky Jake cleaned him up for me in that one. So coming into the final, I was looking pretty good. Had the 3 wins. Then in the final, we're just poking along, and Jake ended up getting me onto the straight. I don't know how he could hold it so tight through there, but yeah, it must be that 40mm axle.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, he got me there and messed my clean sweep up. So still yet to win a final in my new kart.
Yeah,
So,
probably one of the surprises for the heavies was Andy Bowie. He was like on you guys and was really aggressive. Like I think in heat 3 or heat 2 actually or something.
yeah, it was heat 2.
Yeah, he nearly passed all 3 of yous in front of him.
Yeah, and it was like, I think it was on the last lap
And
too.
yeah, and I think he got hit tyres with you.
Yeah, we bar locked. So
Yeah.
his nose grabbed my rear bar. Because, yeah, that race there, talk about working together. But yeah, me and Big Dog ended up just duking it out. And
Yeah.
he would get me, I would get him. It was a pretty fun race. Probably my highlight race of the weekend.
Yeah.
It was just swapping positions, but clean.
Yeah.
Never bumped anyone off. Run too wide in some places. The switchback, out positioning each other.
That's been smart, you know.
Yeah.
You got to be smart.
But even then, like going down the straight, I'm like, oh, there's about a cart, 3/4 of a cart on the inside. And yeah, Big Dog took it and he put it in there in turn 1. He pulled it up. So yeah, probably should have drove it to the grass, and closed the door a bit more before he got up there. But credit to him, he stuck it in there, made it work.
Live to fight another day.
But yeah, then obviously the last lap would come up and you get a bit tense and start blocking a bit more when you probably shouldn't. And it brought the top 6 or 7. We were pretty much all nose to tail. And yeah, I sort of had it up the inside of Big Dog down the hill. And I made the move and then he sort of went to go for the switch. And I was running pretty narrow. And then the last minute I sort of swung out. And then Andy seen the seas parted for him and tried to throw it in. And unfortunately, yeah, he grabbed my rear bar. And then everyone sort of checked up. And yeah, Jake almost made it through there too. But Big Dog ended up behind me at that stage. He gave me the push to get going again because fortunately we unlocked. And yeah, there wasn't a great deal in it across the line. What about yourself? How'd you find the weekend in mediums? But you had a pretty big field.
Yeah, so I didn't bring any wet tyres up, thinking it was going to be dry all weekend. But so qualified 12th.
We live in Victoria, mate.
Yeah, I know. But it's the other side of the Great Dividing Range, and it's normally dry.
Always in the trailer.
Yeah, that's all right. But
wet tyres and snorkel and a wetsuit. That's always
right.
in the trailer.
Yeah. Thanks. But it come to my benefit in Heat 1. I was able to drive through the field.
Would you have went out on wets though if you had them?
Probably. But we don't want to look intelligent here. Yes, it was a rough weekend. I didn't have my engine back by that stage.
That's right. You had a loaner
T4.
motor.
So I had Tim McCartney's engine. And so therefore, so it was all right. Like I was just potting around, but then...
Oh, Tim McCarthy's got a story from that round.
Yeah, so it was just one thing after the next. Ben and Axel...
in the wars all weekend again.
Yeah, got sandwiched into turn 1 at the start. And yeah, no, it was all right. But yeah, the weather really changed things up. And yeah, it was just good to see.
Weather's always a good one, though.
What I probably enjoyed from the mediums was seeing the 2 boys, the Pucker boys, Jackson Lee and Josh King. And yeah, race Braden, so they had really good battles up front. Simon had found some pace. He's got a new...
He put it on pole, didn't he?
Yeah, he put it on pole.
That's his...
But I think he was, in reflection, I think he was disappointed with his weekend because he did have pole and a bit of a stranglehold. But
it's always hard when you're on pole, though, because you can only really go backwards.
Yeah, so... overall it was good numbers. I think we had 17 for mediums. Some new guys on board for the trail.
It's good to see new people out there.
Yeah. And lights, they only had 3 competitors.
Yeah, they put them up the front of heavies.
Yeah, basically it was William Burford whitewash.
Yeah, reigning orange plate holder.
Yeah, so a lot of guys have stepped up to mediums now. Marcellus Strangers.
Through the grapevine, someone's stepping back down.
Um, who's that guy?
Oh, I hear Mr. Wheat.
Shane.
Yeah, I hear he's wanting to go back down to lights.
Yeah, it's because he keeps coming underweight, so he says.
Ah, well, it doesn't help when you throw
Well, I
your
did
rib
suggest this
protector
to
off at
him
Oakley.
when he was coming to mediums. I was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
Yeah.
Because us mediums, we
Oh, I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
in the heat of that.
yeah. So it's the Braden Slammer.
I was lucky. My first year, Braden actually ran lights, so I think it was mainly me and you duking
Me,
it out.
you, and
mediums.
Stewie Hall.
Hall. Yeah.
Come back, Stu. We need some more competitors.
Surely his cart's not doing too much. You don't see it out the track very much.
Nah.
The one he sold.
Yeah. Shout out Caleb Frost. He's racing Formula One boats, I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, man of many skills. So, yeah, but it was good overall round.
I enjoyed it. I always like going to Pucker.
Yeah, it was great.
The whole atmosphere there, the camping the night before.
Yeah, we had roast dinner.
Yeah, roast. If you're ever at Pucker, do the Saturday practice. Awesome meal.
Well,
that
Jason
night.
Clark, he likes to call it a caravan park with a go-kart track.
He's probably not far off there.
Yeah, so yeah, 40 entrants. It's a record for Victoria, which is amazing.
It's a trail record too, isn't it?
Trail record. But going into round two, we were like hopefully trying to back that up. And round two at Oakley,
Trying to get people from their home tracks away from their home tracks, really.
yeah, and we didn't get many country guys. It was all metropolitan mostly.
It was pretty much,
Not even Pucker guys. There's only 2 Pucker guys.
yeah. I understand sometimes it does clash with things like, I think the Lawsons, they were pretty keen to do it, but
Yep.
they come and done the club day before because I think it started clashing with
Yep.
the footy season or something.
Sure. Yeah, Jared's found some pace. He seems
Yeah.
really racy.
They're always good at their home track come the final. Like,
Yeah, he seems to have found some pace. And yeah, so yeah, went to Oakley, 40 entrants again, which was great. Back it up.
and they split us up again, which was nice.
Yep, split us up.
Nothing worse than getting caught up in someone else's race.
And then we threw in a random grid. So that made things interesting. Probably some of the takeouts from that round was Jackson Lee. He had a shocker. I think he had 3 DNFs.
If he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck at all that weekend.
Yeah, like he'd go out, do half lap, then stall.
I don't even think he made the start a couple of times. He
He'd roll
conked out on the roll round.
Yeah, so don't know what was going on there. But yeah, Cooper Johnston from Accelerate Motorsport come on board and stepped in. And yeah, just basically, probably what we expected.
Yeah.
Did you expect that Cooper would clean, sweep mediums all day?
He was in with a strong chance. He's pretty good, man. Like, his performance in the orange plate the first year we ran at Oakley, it was pretty strong. And then, yeah, I knew Braden was going to be there, and it was going to be pretty tough between him. But Cooper come home with the biscuits at the end of the day. It was good racing. Like, there wasn't much in it, and Braden was pretty smart. He didn't really try and duke it out too early on. Obviously, the cream always rises to the top. So even in those random grid races, like, you would find Cooper and Braden coming through the field. And yeah, Braden was sort of, in both races, he saved his big move for the last lap. And there was less than half a tenth, I think, a couple of races across the line.
Like in the final, he lost by 4 thousandths of a second.
Yeah. Like, it was a drag race to the line. And the alternate strategy, probably a bit different gearing between both of them. And
oh, what do you know? Was it 65?
No, just the way.
I just need to know these things because I've bought the cart since it's won Oakley, so maybe.
So Johnny,
we'll keep it there.
Johnny's got the cart that beat Braden at Oakley, so no excuses anymore, mate.
No, I'll just keep driving the old one, so I don't have.
Oh no, it's got form, so can't let that cart's actually got good pedigree. That one at Geelong on debut.
Yeah.
So in the hands of Reese.
2 from 2 is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, 2 from 2. So you got to keep it up, mate.
I don't think the old Moorwell track is a cart to take there to try and race on debut. I think it's going to be one of those rounds, spin a random. So
yeah, I don't know if you probably wasn't random grid. Yeah, you'd take it there and just back yourself in for a good quality performance, and sort of try and keep your nose clean. Well, that's what I was hoping to do. I was like, oh, here we go, good quality. You'll be up hopefully be up the front somewhere and keep it clean, because that track is pretty small, pretty tight. We
found that out.
I found the tyres there.
You found that out.
Yeah.
We had a laugh.
Yeah. So put myself in the fence in a practice session there.
Tried to take, what was it, turn 1 in flat out?
Pretty sure you can do a flat. Just don't hit the curb too much.
Yeah, tried, you know.
To be fair, the grass was pretty wet on the outside. There was no
big puddle there on the inside.
Yeah. Cart's got good pedigree, so got to step up, son.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it at that. We'll see what happens. So back to Oakley. In mediums, I think Simon Arnold really
stepped up that weekend.
He did do some private testing, mind you. We'll keep an eye on you. Simon did really well.
Testing, and didn't invite the boys down.
Nah, it's all right. You know,
jeez.
I think that's what you got to do these
sacrilege.
days. You got to just get out there and get some time in the seat. I think
seat time's always good though.
Yeah, and track knowledge. You know, Simon's done it again. He went to Morwell for their club day just recently gone last weekend, and so he's dialing it in, and I think he's keen to take it to the likes of Braden. It's another random grid format for Morwell.
That's going to make it very interesting. Very hard to pass there.
But one of the things to take out was the big crash.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker, eh?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Luckily enough, he was all right.
Yes, I was behind Jason at the time. Oh, not at the time, but I was behind Jason, past him, and then next minute, There's
actually footage on the 4SS Victoria page.
And then Jason was crashed, but he was in front of me, and I'm like going, what's going on here? So
from the grandstand, it looked pretty bad.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So he had got to fly here. What's going on in Daley Kart Supplies?
Yeah. Happens. We're out in the sticks, mate.
Yeah. So he didn't do a wheel nut up tight.
I think he was trying to run the front too wide, and
didn't put the spacers in or something?
No, he put the spacers in, but when he put the nut on, the stub didn't actually go through the nylock.
Okay.
So it wasn't actually hanging on by much. So most of you know, nylock nut used to the plastic sort of molds to the thread to help hold it on there. Then you don't need a spring washer for say. But when you don't go through the nylock, it doesn't take very much, even if it's nipped up, like a bit of vibration, and it'll come loose.
Yeah.
So his wheel nut, the nut holding the hub on actually come loose, and you can see in the video just full kicks out,
tilts,
and then he just sends him straight into those tire barrier.
Flipped over the tires.
It went over the tires and ripped half the head off the engine,
and then was
just pumping fuel out too.
Yeah. So when I seen him, all I seen was the heroics of Cooper and Braden, which I was rubbing my hands against two spots.
Yeah.
But no, they.
Well, fortunate enough for them, because that cart caught fire.
Yeah,
and
it was on top of him, on fire.
They were the first ones on the scene too. So,
and that's nothing against people having the officials out on track. Like you can't cover every corner. It's just unfortunate. But good on them for getting out there and
a bit of camaraderie. Like that's what it's for.
They parked up in a safe spot.
Yeah, they went around the next corner and pulled into the infield.
Yeah, so it was done safely and according. I know it's not a good thing to jump out your cart during a race to do these things, but sometimes safety takes precedence. So
it is what it is. You'd rather get the DQ than see one of your mates.
Yeah, because I thought Jason had hurt his knee the way he was holding his leg on the ground, but it was from the singe of the fire suit on his skin. But no burns, just a bit hot.
You're pretty lucky out of that. Then.
I wonder if he's
just come back from a shoulder reco, didn't he?
Yeah, shoulder reco.
I'll give that one a test out.
I haven't spoken to him. I did call into Dramana Charcoal Chicken, Point Nepean Road Charcoal Chicken, Dramana, one of the best, but he wasn't there, so just got a half chicken chips and rolled
gravy.
On. Yeah, with gravy on top. It was actually really good.
Got to get the gravy.
Message him, say I was in there. I could see his cart through the at the back there.
Does he have his cart out the back?
Yeah, he keeps it at the back. Oh. So,
but
he has sold the business, so he's finishing up. So,
more time for racing.
Just drop 4SS Victoria, get 10% off next charcoal chips at Dramana. But I'll have to message him to see if he's getting it ready or got it back together.
Yeah, because that's going to need a new motor. Like, that motor's cooked. That's going in the bin.
Yep.
So,
Got a spare one here. I can see one.
spare
on
one?
the bench
Or,
right now.
nah.
Oh, hang on.
Nah, they're...
Which one's that one?
Which one?
Old Spice?
Old Spice. Old Spice is the one with the exhaust on. And
Yep.
the other one sitting there that's half pulled apart is Mr. Burford's. So, Will Burford done a motor at Oakley Club Day start of the year.
Yep.
So, a bit down on performance going down the straight.
So why is it here?
Oh, he's going to throw it in the bin. I'm like,
What are you going to do with it? Investigate it?
Yeah, I was going to see what failed on it. So, pretty interested to see inside. Never really pulled one of these ones apart.
Yep. Just a bit of fucking, what,
Yeah.
research and development, R&D?
Yeah, well, know what to look out for, I suppose, when other people have that problem, because we were sort of chasing it that day, playing with carbies, playing with valve clearances, and didn't really make that much of a difference. Then Braden was over there helping him, so Braden give it a bit of a rev and then...
Nuked it.
Yeah, nuked it. So pretty sure that one's on Braden. So it didn't...
He did sell him an engine at a good price.
Maybe he just felt bad.
The engine he won at the trail. So part of the trail, if you enter all rounds, you go on the draw to win a Torini engine supplied by SP Tools and Torini. And Braden won it last year.
Pretty awesome prize.
Yeah.
There's pretty much
complete,
$2,000. Yeah.
not a short, complete engine mounts, exhaust, clutch, everything. Valued about $2,000. So yeah.
And all you got to do is show up.
Well, you got to race every round. You know,
Shop
we
and
do
race,
have one
same,
drop
same.
round. But yeah, some of the good prizes the trail offers.
What's the
good
prize pool this year? About $9,000 again, $10,000.
It might have gone up, to be honest.
Oh yeah, because we've had a few more jump on board.
Yeah, Andy Bowie's supplying Total Tools gift vouchers per round.
$50 a round.
All random. T4 Cartworks, thanks to Tim Murphy. Put some sprocket protectors in, so there's some value there. Cranes for hire.
If you ever need like proper good technical support, Tim, top bloke over in SA, he'll help you out. Always very forthcoming with his knowledge and what's going on in the four-stroke world.
Yeah, lucky he's got a dyno, so you can run engines in, get some data back on your engine, do your valve clearances, jetting, get it dialed in, see what you make, get your curvature of your torque and all that corrected. So yeah, and it's just basically you pay for freight to get there. I think it was about 75.
He's actually
$80.
put up a test in tune or a dyno run for someone that does all rounds of the trail too.
Has he?
Yeah.
That's newsflash?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I told you.
Yeah, right. We're still waiting for Daley Cart Supplies to get a dyno.
Oh man, it's on the
Got
to-do
the
list.
dyno room right beside us.
I end up gassing myself out in that room.
We'll get a whirly bird on top or something happening. Sure the neighbours won't mind.
Oh no, it'd be fine. I've seen someone fit a whirlybird in their trailer. They've done a pretty good job.
Yep, exactly. Come see me.
Yeah.
Fabricator.
Yeah. About 3 tubes of silicon later.
Yeah. No, it worked. I think it's still spinning.
Still spinning, yeah, I suppose.
No phone line though. But yeah, so we've got some. What other sponsors have we got? Well, SP Tools have supplied heaps with boxes of tools, like just out of control.
No, it's good to see a lot of them jump back on board this year.
Yeah, Le Mans.
Get behind
They're going
it.
to supply
That's
the
a new one.
trophies. Le Mans Entertainment and Dandenong hire carts. That's where we all started, and we tell anyone that's on the come up and wants to get into karting,
Cut your teeth there.
yeah, just go see what you've got. See if you can dial it in there.
In saying that,
Race
like,
their
I
leagues.
raced there, and I don't think I actually ever won a race solo.
That's all right. Yes, we did. You won the enduro on the last lap,
That was an enduro.
last corner, and
last lap.
Simon
Much
threw a
as Simon's
tantrum.
discussed.
Because we were teammates for the enduro. So yeah, that you've won.
Not an individual one.
Yeah, but you're heavier.
This is true.
So you got to take that into account. No one ever does though.
Nah.
Everyone thinks that they win on merit. No, sometimes you get an advantage of weight.
Especially in the high carts. They're underpowered as it is, and
Yep.
need every little inch you can get in there.
Yeah, well, that was one of the benefits from Le Mans was just racing in the wet on slicks,
Oh,
doing
man.
massive enduros.
Because it never rains in Melbourne.
No, it always rained on a Friday night when we go to do it.
Sitting there with a bucket seat full of water.
Yeah, that's the one
soaking
thing I
through your
reckon was
pants.
great because when we come to 4SS and we had wet tyres in the
Oh
wet,
man, you had so much.
I was
grip on
like, what the
tyres.
hell is this? And just being able to lock in and do the repetitive laps consistently due to the groundwork you've done in hire carts,
And being used to that, like, combat, I suppose you'd
It's
call
high.
it. Like,
It's intense.
yeah,
high
you're
intensity.
there, you're beside people, not getting, like, intimidated and whatnot, like, holding your ground.
Yeah.
Like, at least it puts you in sort of good stead. Yes, when you come to 4SS, it's a bit clean. It is cleaner than hire kart racing. Hire kart racing, there's a lot of rubbing, and you can't really wheel lock on them. Where with these, you have to give them a bit more room. Otherwise, you're gonna rip a bar off or end up hurting yourself a bit. But it teaches you a bit of the racecraft, because that track can be pretty hard to pass when everyone's doing identical lap
I think
times.
it's a bit harder now. I think they've closed the walls in for safety and that, but it was a little bit more open when we used to race. Gave it a bit more room for passes and stuff.
I was down there the other month, and
Where are you now?
Yeah, so
Where was the invite? Who was this with?
it's like one of them cheeky practice
Is
sessions.
this on a date?
No dates, mate.
Shout out to any single ladies. Nathan's single.
Drop your number in the comments.
Yeah, must be into karting. Must support his career.
Yeah, it's because I'm going
If
places.
you're against it, you're out.
Yeah, you may as well just pack your bags now. But anyway, yeah, there's still just those pretty much the one move or two moves into the bus there, and like I only really had that move there just from the experience, like because they're just normal punters rocking up for a bit of racing, and you could just throw it in there, and you know what the kart's capable of.
And now you just got to punt them and run.
Oh,
Like tap, like get them
Push
loose,
to pass.
NASCAR style.
Push to
yeah,
pass.
yeah, exactly.
punt's a bit rough,
Yeah, but well, not for some.
not for some. Yes.
That's the way they race and continue to race. Yeah, so Morwell's coming up. What's some of the things that, heavy's perspective, are you looking forward to?
Heavy perspective. Well, hopefully I don't end up with a bent card. I'm not looking forward to if
Maybe.
that happens, but should be all right. Like, most of the heavy boys are pretty good. Everyone's pretty respectful out there.
Hang on, we got to rewind. Oakley Heavies. So the results from Oakley Heavies. So we haven't spoken about that. One thing I thought was surprising, Dazza Brown had stepped up. Obviously done a lot of practice, and
Does
he was-
all that practice is coming to
yeah,
fruition.
he was running around pretty not far off the pace.
No, I got behind him in heat two, yeah, and yeah, just got a bit shuffled out off the start. He ended up in front of me, and yeah, chased him down, and I don't know, I was worried for a bit there because I couldn't find a way around him, and luckily enough, he made a mistake out of the corkscrew, and yeah,
he
got him in the Tony cart.
He's lost weight. That's helped.
I think that's the big thing.
Fitness. Bit of
Like you see
fitness,
with Tim
calf
McCarthy as well. Tim went on a big weight loss journey. I think he managed to lose about 40 kilos.
Yeah, he's he did really good. Like he's
Top bloke too. If you're ever around the pits, go say hello.
Yeah. So he's lost heaps of weight and found confidence in the cart himself, and in mediums he's back with the rest of us in the
Like he's there or thereabouts in the mediums. Like once you obviously get rid of Braden. But
Yep. So So who won over the day in heavies?
So Oakley do the old final only counts.
Yep.
So we had random grid there, as you touched on before, and I think Jake ended up getting up in the final.
You've forgotten already?
No, Jake got up in the final.
I'm
pretty
sure he's reminded you.
Oh, yeah. Reminds me I've never won a final, but yeah. Jakey got up in the final. Unfortunately, the one that got a bit shafted there was Big Dog. So off the start, Big Dog ended up getting shafted.
You got a bit wide.
Carried a bit wide, and yeah, so the podium ended up again. Oh, Andy Bowie actually. He was up there pressuring Jake very early on.
Yep.
And Jake, he sort of started dropping back a bit, and much the same as Daz Brown, he sort of overcooked the corkscrew. And luckily enough, I had the right timing and snuck up the inside of Tony cart. But he was there. He dropped back a little bit, but then he come pretty strong for the last few laps. I don't think there was very much between us across the line. So yeah, he got his first trail podium after
he's been trying.
After a fair few bit of trying.
Definitely committed to the trail now, which is good, because he's a Geelong boy, loves Geelong, and he's jumping on the trail. And
If you're ever looking for a second-hand cart,
I think
mate,
half the field's second-hand carts, aren't they? X5s and X6s are from
they're
Andy
probably,
Bowen.
they're probably all Andy Bowie carts.
Yeah. No, you can't keep them for too long. That's the
Nah.
rule of thumb, isn't it? Turn them over, or unless like you and just keep them for keepsake.
I like looking at all my things.
Yeah, and so for lights, we had our biggest field of lights in the trails history. 2 years.
Yeah.
I think,
Good to see them going, but
7 or 9? Yeah.
most of that is just because they're Oakley members. Though I think I don't know
Hopefully
if
they
that's
continue on. Hopefully the
It'd be
twins,
good,
The
like,
twins they ran on whites that
been work-
round.
pretty much everyone out of an MKC
Was there?
everyone out of the MKC shed was running whites.
Yeah.
So even Flex in heavies,
Was he?
Yeah, he was running whites.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, because he's there or thereabouts. He's probably around Daz's pace.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to run whites, I didn't think was the smartest
Did you
move.
call him Flex?
Flex, yeah.
Lex Floodstrom, shout out.
Yeah.
MKC's finest.
Yeah. So MKC's 4SS heavy driver. But yeah, pretty much everyone out of the MKC stable all ran whites, which, I don't know.
So
Surely,
whites are in now. We have to run the Maxis whites from now on in from end of last month.
surely for the last round, like you could have got another session out of your blues. Like even if your blues were cooked, your blues is still faster than the whites.
Yeah, whites are super hard. Probably what did Jake said he was off about 7/10.
Yeah, I think we sort of done a bit of a test on a club day we went to. So normally Jake's probably a touch faster than me, maybe a 10th. We're around the same pace. So yeah, in that quali session, I ended up pumping 7/10 into him, which is a fair bit.
Sorry, repeat that. You pumped 7/10 into him.
Yeah,
You're right.
Smoking.
Jeez, it got a bit awkward in here all of a sudden.
Only when you made the eye
Don't
contact.
pump any tenths into me.
10 tenths for you, mate.
Yeah, thanks. So the old white tyre's in now, so jump on board. The TP have out already, sold out.
Are they?
Yeah, so people are chasing
Lucky I got mine Tuesday.
Yeah, I got mine a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you get them ordered ASAP, or even you can go onto their website and you can turn a notification on.
Yeah.
So when they're back in stock, they'll notify
Pretty
you.
handy, that notification setup.
Yeah, so on the white, so it's interesting. It's going to change everyone's cart setups, tire pressure.
Just run the same, mate.
Just run the same?
Run the same.
Yeah, I don't know. See what happens.
Yeah. It'd make it a bit more interesting because I don't know what they'd be like compared to a Vega, if they're similar to a Vega or...
Well, from what Jake said, they're worse.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And it's going to be interesting because a lot of the newer guys coming through probably from the last year or so have always had this high grip tyre.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. So the South Australians
Or higher grip.
and Ultimate Club
They don't
Racer
have
brought
that
it to
much
Max's attention about the tyre, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they were talking to Tim over there at old mate from St. George, forget his name.
So do they think that it will help because of budget, like to reduce budget because of a hard tyre?
So yeah, so the budget was one aspect of it. Being a harder tyre, you hopefully should get a longer out of it. But again, probably depending on the track. Like if you're just running a pretty smooth track all the time, you get a fair while out of your blues. But yeah, so the harder tyre should generate longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit cheaper on, a bit better for the old hip pocket. And to take grip out, so to improve racing, I suppose, like making everyone
Yeah, but I
work
think
for
the
a bit
slower
harder.
guys are going to really struggle.
Yeah, I think the newer guys and the slower guys are going to find it a bit harder because you don't have that, I've made a mistake, I'll just feed some more lock into it and it'll just do what I want it to do. Mm-hmm. But then again, that probably comes down to your cart setup as well.
Yeah, that's right. So, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully the weather's good at Morwell.
How many times do you reckon you asked for tyre pressures at Morwell?
I've got a spreadsheet.
Oh, I've got a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Oh,
I want to tell everyone what I'm on and what sprocket I'm racing and tyre pressures.
You're going to share this spreadsheet with the people?
Nah, it's Formula One, mate. I don't spread nothing.
Oh, mate. Oh.
It's just for me, personal. Yeah, so just remember the Geelong Enduro will be able to run the blue Maxxis tyre there
If
for
your
the
Blues are
Enduro.
still all right, hang on to them.
Keep them. So that's November 30th, the date for the 2-hour 4SS Enduro at Geelong. Reverse track, major big prize money. Major big prize money.
Yeah, it's going to be worth going to this one.
So we had 26 entrants last year. Some celebrity-like names.
Yeah, it was some of the co-drivers that got called up.
Yeah.
Man, it was some good racing.
Yeah. Like we got, who we have last year? Damon Sterling from X1. He won the Australian Drivers' Championship. We had, some KA drivers of Angus Hall, Cooper Johnston.
Their drives in the wet, though, like between Cooper and Gus. They were a good race to watch.
Yep, definitely. Ian Branson from Ringwood Kart Centre was
he ended up jumping
cameo.
with Peter Rogers.
Yep. They did really well, really consistent. Even though they were a bit over in weight-wise, they did, I think they finished 6th, 5th.
They were up there, I think. Oh, they might even finish 4th.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no, Supermax finished 4th, I think.
No, we don't count Supermax.
No.
It's all about Club Maxes here. For next year, start thinking about it.
This year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah, sorry. This year, put in your calendars.
Start looking for a teammate that's keen.
Try not to get another 4SS driver. Try and get someone of some karting knowledge, but don't team up with another 4SS driver. Otherwise, you're just taking out another
At the same
entry.
day, same time.
If you have to, you have to.
You have to. Because they're not allowed to team up with a buddy.
Yeah.
But even that,
Just don't team up with Andrew Stronopoulos. He'll leave you 3 days out from the Enduro event.
I'll leave you hanging.
Cheers, Andrew. Yeah, so that concludes episode 1 of the 4SS Victoria podcast.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by, Johnny.
No, that's all right.
Been a pleasure this time.
Don't know how often we'll do these, but stay tuned and we'll see you at the track.
All right, catches.